Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm still working on the pick a card readings, and we are on number 4, which is this keychain from Bhutan. So if you had chosen this, then this reading is for you. First, what I'm going to do, which is a little bit different from what I did in the last couple of readings, is draw 2 cards that just are numbered and colored, just like from a classic Uno deck. This will be for numerology purposes. It could represent anything, birth date, lucky number, or I don't know, just numbers you see repetitively. Could be like an angel number, or how many children you have, or how many, I don't know, it may be an anniversary or anything like that. So I'm just going to draw 2 cards. Here we have 7, and okay, that one doesn't count. Just one more card, one more number for this reading. I'm kind of like not the greatest shuffler ever, so I'm kind of new to both tarot readings and shuffling cards, apparently. I guess I'll just go with this 9. So 7 and 9 could be a year of birth or whatever. Alright, now I'm going to just draw one more card from this Law of Attraction deck. Just to get an overall mood or feel for this particular pile. And then we'll get into it. Alright, we got motivation. It says, I am motivated, and motivated people help me to improve my finances. That's cool. It's a neat card. Okay. So, the title of this was, Am I Making the Right Choice? In life, we have a lot of decisions that we have to make, and for some, these are easy decisions. For others, these are incredibly difficult decisions. It all depends on your situation, but here we are to get some answers. So let's start with this answers deck. Wow, pulled quite a few cards for this one. 6. So let's see. Alright, wow, right off the bat we got victory, a champagne bottle, wow. Alright, what are we, oh, reconciliation, a bridge, patience, a time, oh, what are these things called? Not a time capsule, oh my gosh, it's escaping me. But it's a little, well, you guys know what that is. Oh, a baby. This is new beginnings. I don't know about that one, but destruction. Oh, alright. That's kind of, and this card came out in reverse, and I'm gonna keep it that way. It says scandal with a window. So, good news, guys. You have gained victory over scandal. That is great. And destruction. Through your patience and some kind of bridge you're building here with reconciliation, possibly having to do with a baby. Could be a child or whatever. So, let's see. Now I've pulled some cards from Magic the Gathering deck just because I had like about 5 decks that were stolen from me, and along with like 2 laptops, a super expensive camera, and a bunch of other stuff. So, but you know what? Stealing happens all the time, doesn't it? What can you do? Now, if it's happened to you, and it happened recently, and it was a lot of money, you should do something. And if you need to figure out what to do, when, where, how, why, whatever, please contact me. Anyway, let's see what we got here. First card up. Obelisk of Grixis. This card to me speaks about magic just because of the colors, purple, pink, and it's an artifact. And the little inscription down here says, like most features of Grixis, the obelisks that remain from the time of Alara now exist only for dark exploitation. I don't know about dark exploitation, but it's an obelisk. And, ooh, gold forged sentinel. Huh. Blessed by the gods, coveted by mortals, beholden to neither. Huh. This, to me, is a card that speaks of an individual who cannot be manipulated. It's an artifact creature, chimera, or chimera, or yeah, chimera probably. It says, blessed by the gods, coveted by mortals, beholden to neither. So this is someone who is extremely independent. There's no strings to pull. There's no... This is a person not easily manipulated. Someone with their eyes wide open, who can see very clearly, who may not have all of the answers but knows how to find them. This is a very good reading. Next we have Trading Post. Artifact. It doesn't really have an inscription. It just says sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. Trading Post. This makes me think of the stock market. You know, because it's about trading. So the stock market is what this makes me think of. If you've recently lost a lot of money, that is probably how it was moved. It was probably moved through the stock market, which is why the government is shut down. Just so you know, where it ended up, through which companies, all of that I could probably figure out, pinpoint, pin down, give some serious clues. I mean, I can at least get a good direction going. But you'll have to contact me because that'll be like a totally separate reading. But here we have Heart Piercer Bow. Whenever equipped creature attacks, Heart Piercer Bow deals 1 damage. Okay. And then the inscription says, designed by an ancient artificer, the finest Mardu bows are carved from dragon bone and strung with the wind itself. So, this is interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what else this trading card could possibly mean, besides some kind of barter trade, stock, bond, something of that nature. But these three cards, this Obelisk, Goldforged Sentinel, and Heartpiercer Bow, speak to me of someone who is very pure in both heart and mind and body and bloodline. So if you chose this pile, I'm gonna say you're making the right decision, because I think these are very positive cards. And up here at the top we have 2, 6, and 3. Maybe you work in finance. Maybe you could be a man. But whatever the case is, you have a very strong heart. And you're very refined. And you're not easily fooled, you're not easily manipulated. You're very mature and calculated, but not in a creepy sociopathic type of way. You do have emotions, you do have intuition, and you do factor them in, but you're not ruled by them. Your mind is very strong, and it puts everything in the right place, in the proper perspective. You're very you're a very wise person. Very wise. This is a good reading. Yeah, Ace of Spades, Ace of Clubs. You could have just had a very big spiritual awakening. 5 of Clubs, it's causing a lot of conflict, a lot of cognitive dissonance. 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. But you're working very hard to reap what you've sown. But if these numbers speak to you, 3, 5, and 8, then this could also be another indication that this is you. Apart from the fact that you picked the pile. Yeah, you're working really hard to factor in all these new revelations, to figure out how they can help you reap everything you've been sowing. Let's see. These are Loteria cards. This is El Caso. It's to me, it's kind of like a cauldron. And it's upright, which means this is like a bloodline. Or a womb, or a cup, but it's a very special one. And here we have number 16, La Bandera, and 4, El Catrín, or to me this looks kind of like a butler sort of, and 30, El Camarón, the shrimp. This card may not look like much, but it is a bit Fibonacci-esque with the spirals, sort of, and it kind of speaks to me of a certain order or hierarchy that is ultimately in control of our destinies. But you are I think you're definitely making the right decisions. Whatever it is you're planning, or whatever it is you have in your mind, whatever this huge new inspiration is, I think is definitely going down the right path for sure. Now you have 2 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Your subconscious is really surfacing. The Knights speak to me of subconsciousness, like subconscious physical desires, or subconscious spiritual desires, or subconscious emotional desires, or subconscious, let's see, fire, spirit, water, emotions, pentacles, body, swords, mind, or just your subconscious in general. But this is subconscious physical desires. They appear to really be surfacing. Like, that could be what this Ace of Fire is. Your subconscious is really rising. It is surfacing. It's almost manifesting things as though it were a mind of its own. But it looks good though. Everything is pretty positive. Let's see, 4 of Swords. Yeah, that's, well, you've probably been in a place of rest. Either maybe because of health problems, maybe because of limitations, maybe because of, I mean, this could be voluntary or involuntary, but for some reason, you've had to take a time out, whether you've wanted to or not, and this time out has forced, because you're physically in an involuntary state of, I don't want to say atrophy or dystrophy, but like, whatever the case is, because you've been physically limited and you can't express everything that's being repressed or oppressed or depressed or compressed, it appears to be expressing itself subconsciously on a huge level. It's almost like the more you hold in, or the more you push down, or the more you are forced to, like, just stop, just the more it comes out through all of these other channels. Like, it's almost like you're oppressed. You keep getting, like, just beat down or just held down or just forced down, and it's coming out through all these other, like the universe is just kind of like taking it all in and pushing it back out through all these other mediums. It's you can't express yourself, so it's like the universe is doing it for you. Now we have Page of Cups in reverse, Knight of Wands upright, Knight of Cups. Wow, you have, yeah, and Two of Swords. Yeah, there's so much subconscious energy here. You have all the knights practically. And you know what? This deck, throughout the whole 12 piles, I passed out the entire deck. And it is really interesting. And I shuffled the cards extensively. I definitely took my time with the shuffling. And I mean, setting all the piles up itself took an hour, which is why I didn't include it in any of the videos, because I was like, this is gonna take forever. So it's really interesting that you got all the knights almost, or 3 out of the 4. But the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Wands upright, Knight of Cups. You could be subconsciously in love with someone that really sexually excites you, but you're trying extremely hard to repress it. You're really repressing a lot of sexual desire and love. You are subconsciously in love, but you're suppressing these desires. Page of Cups in reverse. On a conscious level, you're not at all aware of this. Your feelings are, you don't know how to identify with them. Because pages to me speak of just consciousness. Knights are like the subconscious, pages are like consciousness, you know, just everyday waking consciousness. And queens are like your higher consciousness, and kings are like your collective consciousness. And this speaks to me that you have no idea that you are in love. On a subconscious level, you have already, yeah, you've fallen in love. But consciously, you don't have a clue what to do about it. No clue at all. Yeah, see, because Two of Swords, this is the card of denial. This is the card of, like, stonewalling, blocking, cutting off. Like, I mean, look even at this guy here. I don't know if you can see it too clearly, but look at this guy here. He has his hands on his head. Like, he just doesn't know what to do. There's like a queen, maybe a Queen of Swords, and some knight, some like armored guy or whatever, blocking this dude. And he has his hands on his head, like he just doesn't know what to do. But, so it looks like maybe that's why you're consciously not accepting what you're subconsciously manifesting, because you don't have a way of breaking through these barriers, or you haven't found a way around it for whatever reason. So let's see your spirit animals. Dolphin spirit. You're very, very intuitive. You could be... You could... You might even be able to telepathically communicate, perhaps even on a subconscious level. You have crow spirit. with whoever it is that you're subconsciously in love with. Which is very interesting. Wow, okay. And it looks like you might find a way around that block, because here on the Enchanted Map Oracle deck we have commitment. As you can see, it's like somebody getting married. There's hearts in the air. And they're like taking each other's hands. Oh, but there's like some kind of rescue that's gonna be needed. And a metamorphosis that's gotta take place. Let's see what else we got here. In your dreams, if you've been dreaming a lot of breath or wind, we have stone and rock, and cat and lion. One second. Okay. Sorry, I had to use the restroom real quick. Now I'm back. These dream cards are really interesting. And look, this looks like my cat Stana. She's no longer with us, but maybe why this card came out in reverse. But she was like this little stray cat that showed up at our house. With the same orange eyes and everything. Had like, I don't know, 2.5 dozen kittens and then passed away. Anyway, let's see. Stone and rock. You have an extremely solid foundation. And this even looks like Stonehenge. So it's like whoever you are very inspired by extremely sophisticated energies. Breath, spirit, cat and lion, courage, strength, stone and rock. This is very positive. I don't know why you're being so repressed. Because here, I mean, it looks like you have such a solid foundation. And you are very well guided. You have a lot of good energy around you, and you know how to tap into it. Let's read these cards. Stone and rock. I'm going to try to read them very quickly because this video is already getting to half an hour. So it says symbolism: durable, seemingly indestructible. Stones and rocks symbolize permanent strength and stability. Various cultures have attributed a wide range of meanings to stones and rocks based upon their properties, placement, and shapes. Stone circles such as Stonehenge were probably used as celestial calendars or temples. Huh. You could be on a spiritual level. You have a very strong foundation. Standing stones such as lingams, menhirs, and phallic symbols used in fertility rites. Stones with holes in them, as well as caves, were used for healing or rites of passage, in which a person passing through the opening was symbolically reborn or healed. Wow. I'm going to read that again. Stones with holes in them, as well as caves, were used for healing or rites of passage in which the person passing through the opening was symbolically reborn or healed. If you're having health problems, this could be a clue to the cure for them. A cave, a rebirth, a baptism of sorts, because that's what baptism is. It's a rebirth. It's a symbolic rebirth. Yeah, here, passing through the opening was a symbol of being reborn or healed. Stones and rocks have also been used as talismans or sacred objects in ritual. It might help you if you are experiencing some health problems or some blockage or some kind of barrier to something. It might, if it doesn't take care of the whole problem, it will at least get you to the next step. And this, I don't know if you're religious or you're not religious, it doesn't really matter. But if you get baptized, and every religion has a version of this. In Islam, they call it ghusl. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. In Judaism or Kabbalah, they call it the mikveh. And in Christianity, they just call it baptism. But if you get baptized, I think it will really help you break through at least a certain layer of whatever this barrier is and get you to like that next stepping stone, that next step. If you see, because the thing about baptism is it's a symbol to the universe and the powers that be that you are now under a new covenant. You are now under a new contract with the metaphysical realm. You're under a new canopy, a new umbrella or protective covering. You won't be so exposed to whatever comes at you or whatever keeps attacking you, whatever keeps oppressing you, whatever keeps holding you down. It's like you'll like break free of it. Maybe not completely, but at least one layer of it, at least or maybe even 2 or 3. It'll bring a wall down. But either way, you have a very solid foundation already. Maybe you've gone through some kind of baptism of sorts. Yeah, and it keeps saying they have been called the bones of Mother Earth, which may have given rise to the notion in some ancient cultures that stones gave birth to humans or housed ancestors. Because stones are believed to contain the wisdom of the ages, divine energy, and cosmic power, they are still often used in ritual, magic, and healing. You know, that is very true. There is even a scripture in the Bible that says, if my people will not cry out, or if, I can't remember verbatim, I haven't read the Bible in a long time, but it says something like, if my people refuse to worship me, then even the stones will rise up and cry out in worship of me. I mean, which would be pretty horrible, right? I mean, if we made the stones worship God instead of us, that would be... But anyway, it also says down here, permanent strength, magic, healing in your dreams. If you've been seeing this in your dreams, it says, might the stones in your dream be asking you to consider the permanent stability or heaviness of a current situation or relationship? Oh, okay. So, if this is about love, if whatever you are so subconsciously manifesting surfaces to some type of a real commitment, it is going to be a very solid commitment. So I'm going to say, if you had a question about a relationship, and if you were asking yourself, am I making the right decision? And you chose this keychain, I'm going to say yes. You are definitely making the right decision, because, I mean, it is so clear. You have so much subconscious, oppressed energy here that is surfacing on such a huge level, and it all does seem to revolve around some type of a commitment that is going to be extremely solid with very healing properties. So if this is about, and it is the heaviness of a current situation or relationship, did the stones have magical properties? Did you or others use the stones in a ritualized way? How might the power or ritualized use of the stones reflect a need for healing or change in your waking life? Did the stones speak or have images or symbols marked on them? If so, was there a message for you? Yeah. This is a very solid and powerful reading. I mean, the energy that I'm feeling right now, just from this pile alone, is very calm, very collected, very clear. It's very positive. Okay, so here we have the breath card. Breath represents spirit. You see, even down here, first word out, spirit, life, healing, creativity, manifestation. So this is just another reinforcement of healing. And it says, in many religious traditions, breath is equated with spirit and life. Taoists refer to breathing in and out as the opening and closing of the gates of heaven. Wow. The opening and closing of the gates of heaven, symbolizing the expanding and contracting of universal life force. Wow, guys. This video is running a little long, so I'm not going to read this entire card, but you know what, fine, I'll just read it really quickly. The word inspiration embodies the symbolic meaning of breath. It refers to the drawing in of breath, as well as the divine spirit or influence associated with creativity. Many healing traditions involve breathing to rejuvenate and restore health to the patient. Zulu healers breathe into patients' ears to drive evil spirits away. Yogic practice asserts that concentrated and focused breathing feeds the vital principle of life and improves the overall mental, physical, and spiritual health of an individual. Many traditions believe that breath, like wind and air, has an active principle of manifestation. In Genesis, God's breath was the cosmic wind that blew across the primeval waters. and created the universe. Similarly, Adam was brought to life through the breath of God. Yeah, you might have had a big baptism recently. This is a general reading, so it can speak to so many different people on so many different levels. But generally, if you chose this, and if you needed some motivation to figure out if you were headed down the right path, if you were making the right decision, then I'm going to say definitely yes, you are. And in your dreams, it says, perhaps your dream of breath is pointed to a waking need for spiritual and physical healing. Are you feeling run down or tired in your waking life? Yeah, it goes back to this Four of Swords card. Could the dream be calling your attention to a need for meditation or focused thinking? Might a situation or relationship need you to breathe new life into it? Are you feeling inspired to explore a creative pursuit? Yeah, I think you're very... I'm getting a sense that this is involuntary. It's almost like you were forced to take a vacation or something. And you didn't want to. So on a very subconscious level, you're just manifesting so much. It's unbelievable. And I'm getting a lot of 16s here too. I don't know if you associate with this number, but we have the flag and we have rescue. And even 9 plus 7 adds up to 16. This card, number 17. We had the 5, 3, and 8, which also adds up to 16. Yeah, there's a lot of indication here that if you identify with that number, if you're needing motivation, or if you identify with 9 and 7, if you feel repressed, oppressed, or just involuntarily at this place of immobility in some way or another, if you've had a lot of health problems, if you're needing a lot of encouragement, if you've just recently been required to make a huge change and you're not sure whether or not you're just being impulsive or irresponsible, or if you're just being immature. No. If you weren't sure if you were headed down the right path, or if the decisions you recently made were wise, I'm gonna say they were. Very much so. And you should definitely move forward. Yeah, I think you were definitely needing encouragement. You were definitely needing some motivation. Because here you also have cat and lion. Cats are an excellent example of symbolic ambivalence. Yeah, you were definitely needing, this came out in reverse, some courage, some pride, some independence. It says, on the one hand, they are affectionate, comforting, and playful. On the other, they are predatory, indifferent, and elusive. Because of a medieval belief that the devil could take a feline form, cats were often thought to be the companions of witches. Thus, cats became associated with the occult, death, and bad luck, as in the superstitious warning against black cats crossing our paths. Because cats are independent and oppose restraint, they are associated with freedom. As the king of beasts, the lion symbolizes dominion, courage, and pride. Largely due to coloring and appearance, the lion has also represented the sun. Lions live in cooperative communities in which females do most of the hunting and cub raising, while males provide protection from predators. Jungian psychology associates the lion with energy, self-control, and the aggressor who always gets its prey. In your dreams, how did the feline presence make you feel? Could your feelings about the cat be calling attention to issues of independence in your waking life? Did the cat feel ominous to you? Are you currently going through a period of bad luck or struggling to overcome a superstition? Or I would just say situation. A lion might suggest that you need to pay attention to community or family matters. Perhaps the lion presents an aggressive part of your nature or a situation in your waking life in which you need to exercise self-control. Well, this came out in reverse. So that last line, I'm going to say that maybe you are exercising self-control and you should maybe ease up on yourself a little bit. Like, don't judge yourself too harshly. Because even here it says struggling to overcome. You really are struggling so hard to overcome this involuntary immobility that you've been forced into. Like, you really want to experience this metamorphosis. But you're on the right path. That's for certain. You are very well guided. You have strong intuition. On a subconscious level, you're really manifesting, and you may not even be aware of it. But anyway, this was extremely positive, guys. If